Hey everybody, Brent in Central Arkansas. A real quick tour of my no-weed garden. I've got melons, squash still going on. I got corn over there. I've got my Madison's cross squash. I've got some okra growing, and everything's doing wonderfully. My squash, for some reason I didn't get a lot of plants that survived in the beginning, but I have replanted for a second wave. You can see some baby plants coming up along there. Well, I'll just walk over and show you. The majority of this squash has seed squash on it, and so they're not going to be producing squash anymore. So I also planted to get some more squash here, as you can see here, just to get more squash to eat. A lot of seed squash going on, and when that happens, the plants start trying to give up. I also have a lot of melons that are doing real good for me. I like the field crossing. I've gotten some really good melons. In fact, that's what this video is really about, is the melons. This is kind of what I'm looking for. While I think this one's pretty interesting, I'm really wanting a melon that's about this size, and I have one that I want to show you. It's incredible. These are the status of my current melon crosses. Most of the breeding work that went into these two were Ambrosia and my Uncle Don's melon, which I'm pretty sure was a canary melon or an offshoot of a canary melon that he'd been growing for a really long time. These things are absolutely wonderful tasting, and it's hard to describe. It's got just the slightest kind of cantaloupe-like taste to it, but something else. I don't know how else to describe it. It's nothing like a honeydew melon. It's richer, creamier, like a cantaloupe is, but I can't even really hardly explain it. But anyway, canary melon has a traditional canary melon that the ones that I've grown anyway, have a white interior, and the ambrosia typically has like a salmon color interior. These, most of the time, especially when they look like this, they have more of a white interior. So let's get a weight on these. Okay, I'm going to set this one a little bit over. Okay, 99.75 ounces. Let's go to pounds. It's 6.23 pounds for that one. And 6.0 pounds for that one. So just over 6 pounds. And that's a hefty melon right there. That is a nice melon right there. So let's cut them open and see what we get. So before I do that, let's talk about the melon more or less, what it looks like and how it grows and all that. When it starts out, it's got like a little bit of a yellowish tint to it. And then as it gets bigger and bigger, it's like white almost. It's like an off-white color. And then as it gets closer to ripening, like this one, it gets like a little bit of color to it. And it also doesn't slip as easily as a cantaloupe would. It's kind of in between the canary and the ambrosia. It doesn't slip as easy as the ambrosia, but it does slip. One of the things, and the reason why I brought this particular one is that the skin, we're in the 90s, mid-90s and above sometimes, and during this heat, especially when it rains, it does like a tomato will do. It will split a little bit. So there's no problem with that, the splitting, because it's not deep. So let me see if I can cut this thing open right in front of you. Oh yeah, just the knife goes right in. Okay, this particular one is not exactly completely white. I have had versions of this were quite a bit whiter, but it's not anything near what a cantaloupe would look like, or even an ambrosia. So I would say this is kind of an in-between those two. So let me cut it, let me remove the seeds, because I typically remove the seeds and likely keep them until I taste it. And then if it tastes phenomenal, I keep the seeds. And so far, only one was sort of worthy of keeping. I'm really hopeful with these two. Alright, I've got my seeds in this little Tupperware with the pulp and everything. This thing is very, very juicy, isn't it? You can tell, you can see it on camera. Let's get a smell taste on this, because when I was scraping out the seeds, it was just, oh, it was wafting and filling my nostrils. It was awesome smelling. Let me just get a smell test on this. There are hints of cantaloupe in it from the smell, and like flowers. It's very hard to explain. Oh, it smells so good. And look at this, how creamy that is. There's no rough texture or anything. It's like cantaloupe creamy. Oh man, that's so good. I'm gonna take a smidge here and taste it. Now most of the time I bring this in, Gina, my wife, wants it to leave it on the counter here for a couple, 3 days before we dig into it. She thinks it ripens up more, and it may, I don't know. So let me have a taste. Oh my goodness. This is so freaking good. If you had a cantaloupe that looked like this, you'd be like, this is not ready. But that is not the case with this. It is so freaking good. A lot more sugar than a typical cantaloupe tastes like, has. And it's got a little bit of a cantaloupe-like taste to it, just like the smell, but nothing close to a full cantaloupe. It is so sweet and so freaking good. I'm gonna eat this before my wife comes home. She's out shopping right now. Don't worry, I got another one. I'll give her that one. Maybe. I'm gonna eat this whole thing in front of you. That is phenomenal, guys. I'm telling you, that's freaking phenomenal. First one, without question, I'm keeping the seeds on this one. I mean, it is so good. And in case you're wondering, this is not the first time I've been through this scenario with different melons, because you know, I want to cut it open and you can look at the outside, and I'm going to show it. I was going to show it to you or not show it to you. So this particular one, because it made the video and you're looking at it, that means it's the one. This is the one that I am definitely keeping to carry forward. All the other videos hit the trash can on the computer. This one, phenomenal. Keeping.